So when you have the three variables, instead of having the coefficient determinant of x replaced, y replaced, you're also going to have a fourth one with z replaced. And so you're doing the same idea, but this time you have a fourth one to find. Also in today's assignment, you're going to have some where we have the coefficient matrix come out as 0. If that's the case, you write no unique solution. And you don't have to go any further and figure out any further than that. Okay? So you don't have to tell me that they are the same line. You don't have to tell me that they are parallel, because they're actually different when it's three variables on that end. And so you just tell me no unique solution and go on from there. So you'll have 6 problems. Out of those 6, 2 of them will end up with that solution. You'll have today and tomorrow to work on the assignment. So let's go over some of these problems. So the first one, we have these 3 equations, and we have to determine what the solution is. So we start by finding the coefficient matrix. So once you get it drawn, go ahead and create, or written down, go ahead and create your coefficient matrix with your x, y, and z columns. Okay, so when we're finding the determinant of a 3 by 3 matrix, what do we need to do? Copy the first 2 rows. When I was grading your determinants, several of you just had troubles copying, so be careful on that. Downs minus ups, so the same way we've been doing. And so let's find our downs. 4 times negative 4 is?
Negative 16.
Times 3?
Negative 48.
5 times 0 is?
0.
1 times negative 2 times negative 1 is?
2.
So my downs total up to negative 46. Now I'm going to switch over and do our ups. Is 4 times negative 4, which is?
Negative 16. Yeah.
Second up, negative 1 times 0 times 4. 3 times negative 2 times 5.
Negative 30.
Giving you a total of?
Negative 46.
Negative 46 minus a negative 46.
Yeah.
That changes to a plus. And it's a great answer of 0. So this one has no unique solutions. Now for the next one, we're actually going to come with a unique solution on this one. So go ahead and create your matrices. And then recopy the first 2 rows to get you to where you can do your diagonals. And just like yesterday, I'm going to let y'all do the determinants on whiteboards. And so y'all can do it there and then just write down your answers on your worksheet. So we're going to do our downs minus our ups. And so my first down is negative 20. Our next down is negative 30. The last down is 0, giving us a grand total of negative 50 for our downs. And then we're going to do our ups. And so our first up
Negative 125.
is negative 125. The next up
0.
and the last up
48.
and all we did is multiply each of those numbers to get those created. And so when we combine those, that gives us a grand total of how much? So we're subtracting a negative 77, giving us a C of what? Now we're going to do our extra placed. So we do our matrice, but in our matrice, we're going to replace our X with the answers. So 4, 14, 12. 2, negative 5, 0, 5, negative 3, 4. Repeat our first two columns. 4, 14, 12, 2, negative 5, 0. And so my downs minus up. So my first down is negative 80. Then I have negative 72. And then 0. Giving us negative 152. Up.
Negative 300.
Negative 300.
0.
0.
84.
Giving us a total of
Negative 260.
not negative 260.
16.
Oh, 16.
Yes, sir.
So downs negative 152 minus your ups
Negative 216. That double minus equals a plus.
okay.
Negative 5. Oh my.
Let me pause this real quick. So with that correction, we had that our ups is 188 because of that 112. And that gives us our CX being 36. CY, we're going to replace your Y column. So 1, 6, 5, put back in. We're going to lose our 0 this time. And recopy the first two rows. Again, using care because we don't want to mess up on our copy. And so our downs minus our ups, and we got to find our downs first. And so our downs is 14 times 4, which is 56. 4 times negative 3 times 5. How many negative what?
Negative 60.
And 5 times 6 times 12. And so that gives us our downs total of 356. Then our ups. So 5 times 14 times 5 gives us what? $350. Negative 3 times 12 is negative 36. And 24 times 4 gives us giving us 410 for our ups. Giving us a grand total for downs minus ups of being what? Negative.
Hold on.
So now we're going to find CZ. So this is very repetitive. We're doing the same thing over and over again. But just realize we're saving that process of having to narrow down your variables. So write your CZ. So we're replacing the Z column
With
your answers.
the answers we just got.
No, like this is what I call the answers.
Oh, but don't we have to do that to find y too?
We just did Y.
And
Or did we not do Y?
Yeah, we did.
Okay. So you have to do it for each of the letters. We're slowly working all the way across, replacing, in other words. And so we're going to do our downs minus our ups. And so our first down is negative 60. Our next down is 140. Our last down is 0. And so negative 60 plus 140 plus 0 is going to give us. Now let's do our ups. And so our first up is negative 100. Next up is 0. And last up is 144. So giving us 44. 80 minus 44 is 36. That's CZ. So those are the numbers we had. So now, what do you think we're going to do to find X? Divide them, just like yesterday. So to find X, we're going to take CX divided by the coefficient matrix. So 36 divided by 27. That's not going to divide evenly, but it does reduce. Both of them are divisible by 9.
So
4 over 3. Then we're going to find Y. by doing CY divided by C. So CY is negative 54 divided by 27 gives us negative 2. And then the last one is Z. Which is CZ divided by C. So CZ is 36 divided by 27, which is 4/3. And so our final answer is the ordered triplet of 4/3, negative 2, 4/3. And remember, when you're writing this, this is X, Y, Z in the order. Or alphabetical if they're different letters.